Hi everyone, this is William from the Godzilla Files, and today we have a pretty special unboxing. As anyone who's been following knows, I have one more unboxing to do, and that is a big one. The new and improved, hopefully, King Ghidorah. I was able to snag mine a little early, due to the fact that I was actually close to Flossie's gifts, and I was actually able to pick it up. So, without further ado, not going to delay this anymore. Here is the new King Ghidorah. So, unfortunately, this guy is so big, I'm going to have to kind of open him this way. So once I do that, we'll kind of talk a little bit more about him. I'll take him out and we'll kind of look at him for a little bit. So, when this guy first came out a couple of years ago, he was actually one of the figures I really wanted, and one that was going to get me into X-Plus originally. But, as we all know, from all the horror stories online about this guy, he's actually the figure that turned me off from X-Plus originally. You know, I was really all for getting him. I was really excited, but all of a sudden, you know, you kept hearing all these stories. People's heads falling off, horns, wings broken. And, you know, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. You know, I'm not going to put down as much money as they wanted at that time for it, with it breaking. Alright, so one of the first improvements that they made, you can see here already, styrofoam. Protects it a lot more than the plastic that we normally see, which, thank God, because it needs it. It's a very delicate, probably one of the more delicate figures in this lineup of, you know, figures all around. So, first thing I'm going to do here is get these wings off so I can get into the figure itself. So, sorry about all this. Sorry for anyone not getting the good view. Here is one more. Here is the wing in the plastic. I mean, it looks great. All the ends here are on it. You know, I know in the beginning, a lot of people were having trouble with their ends. So it's nice to see that I was able to get these. Let me take it out of the plastic and kind of show you a little bit better here. Really nice. The wings are done extremely well. Pieces that connect in look good. So we'll put that down for a second. Instructions. Always good. I always keep these because you never know. Now, we have the main event. I don't want to go too far in because I don't know how deep this is. So we'll just play it safe. Cut this bad boy like this. So yeah, I mean, first off, I can already tell that this guy was taken, a lot more care was given in his handle. So, which is great, which, you know, wonderful to see. Here we go. Still cutting some of this. So much tape, which I think in this time around, I think everyone's kind of happy. Alright, so, alright, have another tail, another wing here. Again, looking at the wing, huge. The ends of it, perfect, none are missing. Very happy about that. And finally, the big guy himself. If everyone's okay with it, I'm going to sit down now. So, this guy is big. I need a knife here. Cut it. plastic off it. Already I can tell that, you know what, it looks like all the problems that plagued the first release have kind of been answered and solved in many ways. So that's great to see. You know, we spend a lot of money on these figures, so I expect them to be, you know, in best case scenarios, in perfect condition. Obviously, we're always going to see a little imperfections here. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast with these things. But, you know, seeing everything that I saw originally with this release, like I said, it really turned me off. But, oh my God, look at this guy. Just unbelievable. So freaking amazing. So detailed. Everything looks so good. Now I know this is based off the Destroy All Monsters look, which understandably so. I know some people wish that it was based off his first appearance, but they have so many from Destroy All Monsters that it makes sense that they wanted to complete that, and that was a really big deal, movie-wise. You know, I'm going to have to take a look back and see. I do think he might be a little darker than I remember, but at the same time, you know, we're so used to him being gold that I'm thinking that this is actually pretty accurate. But I could be wrong. Tail, I mean, wingspan, jeez, this thing is, it's got some weight to it as well. It's not, you know, some of the other figures that I've had recently, like Titanosaurus and even Mothra, didn't feel like they have any weight to it. It felt very hollow almost in many ways. And I know it's something they are, but this just feels like it has some weight, which I really like. Beautiful designs on the faces, just great. So I'm gonna go put this guy together, and I will give you a full review when I get back. And welcome back, everybody. So as you can tell, I kind of had to move around. This figure is way too big to do what I normally do. So I have a little table here that I'm able to prop it on. So the first thing I think that catches anyone's eye is just how massive this figure actually is. The wings alone, I mean, my God, they're bigger. I think they have to be bigger than the figure itself. I put mine on shelves, and I had about that much space from the tip of the wing here, I should say this one, to the top of my ceiling. So this thing is just massive. So before I got this figure, I looked at Destroy All Monsters, which this is based off of. You know, it's hard to tell some things with this figure. The first is definitely the coloring. I actually think he might be a bit closer to Godzilla versus Gigan in this, you know, with the color scheme. In Destroy All Monsters, he sometimes goes dark, but then other times he's very bright. So I'm not sure if that's just the coloring overall with this, you know, if maybe if it was the coloring of the suit was actually this, but then with the lighting, it looked more gold than it really was. I'm really not sure. I know this is up for some debate among, you know, buyers of this figure. So, but yeah, I mean, this thing is beautiful. I mean, the three heads, all are doing different things, all look unique in what they're doing. You know, I love the fact that they're all just not like just kind of sitting there. They all seem to have a little bit of a pose to them, and it really does help. You know, if you're gonna set them up with against some Godzilla foes. You know, I have him standing next to Gigan, and I'm also gonna take some photos of him and Gigan with Godzilla and Anguirus. There's gonna be a couple of photos coming. This guy definitely deserves it. Now, some of the changes that came with this figure, besides the packaging, which we saw when I unboxed him, which was 100 times better than from what I heard and saw online the first time around this guy came out. Some of the things that I did notice was, from what I understood, this was actually hard, like almost like a hard plastic. This now has a bit of a give to it, like you can actually push this in a little bit. I don't recommend it. I don't think it's really meant to do that, but it does have some give. You know, it's not just going to snap off if you touch it. Even the middle horns, which I know had a problem. Now the little like claws here still are hard plastic. This looks like it's all one piece. So you know, these are still very delicate. I would not do much with these, but at least they kind of solved some of the issues from the original release. And honestly, I know I've had this pre-ordered, and I think a lot of people had this pre-ordered for quite some time. It was worth the wait. The changes that they did, making sure everything worked out well, cannot say more about it. As I said in my unboxing, this figure is the one that really made me interested and also not interested in X Plus figures. So it's just really good to finally have him and also come out with this guy and have no problems. I love the scales. It works perfectly. You know, this is based off the suit. So when you look at him, you know, it definitely is, you know, like he's bending over, so you kind of see all the bumps, you kind of see everything. It definitely looks great. Once again, I can't say more. I mean, the wings itself look great. I love the, even the back. You know, the shot that I remember from Destroy Monsters is when you actually see the camera from this view while he's flying towards the other monsters. So this is actually kind of a cool view. You know, even the back here looks great, and I love the fact that, yes, no one might see this side, they still gave the perfect amount of detail and everything correct. You can even still see like some of the slit where the actor would go into, which I love. You know, like I said earlier, while this figure might be better in a lot of different ways, it's still someone that you have to be extremely careful with. I won't lie to you, I'm very nervous anytime I touch this guy. When I was putting the wings on, one of them popped off and almost fell. Luckily I caught it. So he is still pretty delicate. The wings themselves, if I can bring them back around, they fit in a little better, but you still have like a little, you can kind of still see a little bit here. But you know what, overall, considering the size of these wings and what you're putting them into, it's pretty impressive that this is able to hold on the way it does. So I'm not really going to touch this. I'm really not going to mess with these wings at all. And I really don't recommend, you know, trying to shove them in if you see like a little bit of a gap. Just because I don't think they were meant to be shoved in like that at all. They're secure the way they are now. So I'm not going to touch that whatsoever. The faces, everything looks great here. You know, his little hair here, like his little patches of hair, in the movie, I don't see that as much. That's what I'm saying. Like this seems to be a little bit closer to Godzilla vs. Gigan. Actually, he kind of reminds me more of that King Ghidorah. But you know what? Like I said with my Mothra figure, if you're looking to complete a set of the Showa monsters, or you're just looking to do King Ghidorah with Gigan, you can't go wrong. He is a perfect representation of the Showa King Ghidorah. Now X Plus just needs to do the Heisei, you know, King Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah. Then we'd be all set. But he represents the Showa King Ghidorah perfectly. And I can't imagine that if you are on the fence with this guy, I would say go for it. You know, he's not going to get any cheaper. They've fixed a lot of the issues. I know a lot of people were probably afraid of that, but mine came perfectly from Flossie's Gifts. You know, John did check it for me, so I have to thank him very much. But you know, from the packaging, from some of the changes that they did here, you can't go wrong. And this guy will or should come to you in almost perfect condition. So definitely a buy for me anyway. Well, that's almost about it. some things I just want to talk about. I will be doing a discussion on King Ghidorah in celebration of this figure, so look forward to that. We're going to talk about King Ghidorah throughout the years and what kind of some changes that happened, which version I think is a little better. But yeah, so I look forward to doing that, and you might also see a review of one of King Ghidorah's movies. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be talking to everyone soon. Bye.